I got some apples at Cinco de Mayo over the weekend, and then I bit into one yesterday, and it just wasn't that great. They were very young, immature, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be able to, enjoy these apples, as snacks." I usually get a fruit like that or the pears if I feel hungry, just to kind of help control my appetite. But I was like, I gotta find something to do with these apples. So I was like, oh, how about if I just saute them? That's how you use apples when you're doing like an apple pie. But I did not want the liquid that usually make it like a little sauce and some orange juice. I usually never have oranges in my house. Sometimes I get the mandarin, which I love. But so I just cut up the apples and then added a little bit of brown sugar, lots of fresh ginger. You can't ever have too much ginger, and it is so good for you. A little pat of butter. I didn't add any salt, but I don't think I needed it because it tasted fine. And it's just another way of eating your apples. A little bit of a different take on it. So I enjoyed, coming up with the idea of just using the apples in this way. I feel like I enjoy them a lot better than just trying to bite into the apple. So if you ever want to enjoy some, they're not stewed again, in liquid, so they're just sauteed. Don't be stingy, with the cinnamon, but don't use too much sugar. I don't use white sugar, but I do have brown sugar in my kitchen. I put a little bit in my coffee sometimes. I don't need to sweeten my tea, but the coffee, I can't get past that. But it's kind of a nice way to eat your apples. Look at that. And you can chop that. You can put them in salads. You can put them in your yogurt. You could put them, as a side. When I used to eat meat, I used to buy pork chops. And then I would make almost like a chutney with the apples. And then stuff the pork chops with them before I cook them. Oh, that used to be one of my favorite things. It's been years since I've tasted pork. Probably would gag if I try to eat that now. Now, cinnamon is good for you. Apparently, it's supposed to control your blood pressure. But I use cinnamon all the time, in my cooking. And this is a little bit of honey, not a lot. All right, because honey is still sugar. So just control that. And I tell people, sugar, brown sugar, honey, agave, they're not that bad as long as you don't overdo it. And then this is the thing I talked about earlier. We tend to upsize everything that we do, whether it's ingredient, whether the amount we eat, and that's why we're in so much trouble. We just have no control. No bueno. All right, you could also put like a little pinch of salt to help balance the flavors, but not necessary. So now I think we're gonna finish it off with some fresh herb. I love to buy mint. I put it in my tea. I put it in my salad. Mint goes really well with cold salads, if you're doing like a chickpea salad or whatever salad, just chop some fresh mint. Who knew, right? So you kind of have to know which herb to use with what. And you always want to use your herbs at the end of anything that you're cooking, right? That's just good practice. So you get the freshness of the herbs and they don't disappear in the food. Yeah, I love to experiment, and I still need to start on my my cookbook. I'm gonna get to it, I promise. Like today is one of those days where I don't want to do anything. I'm still in my 90 and just kind of bumming around. The last 2 days was stressful. The internet wasn't working. I was trying to put a video out. I recorded the first video and then I couldn't find it. It just disappeared and I could not use my laptop, using my phone. It was just a mess. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Then I made some coffee. You know, I bought that Palo Alto. And I also got myself a small coffee pot. Now I'm not just drinking instant. I've graduated. I'm grown now. Oh my Lord Jesus, help us. Help us keep the faith. Help us not to fall into despair. We don't want to. We've got to fight. Fight, 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 fight. And I realize now I did not do my Monday motivation. I think I'll do it today regardless and do my health. So this is a health tip, even though there was a little bit of butter and a little bit of sugar in these apples. But listen, don't become a fearmonger. Don't make people feel that any sugar is, like you're committing the federal crime. A little pot of butter, oh my God, the little animal, the chicken, the milk, and oh, I cannot, okay? I'm a firm believer that God put ingredients at our disposal for us to enjoy. As I said, our problem is we just exceed what we need to do. We just go overboard with everything that we do. No bueno, no bueno. And when I was eating that, it was about 11:30, 11:40, which is about the time I start putting something in my tummy. Do not invite me to breakfast thinking I'm gonna eat like at 9 o'clock in the morning. I do not. I cannot. Too early. Yep, here's my little one. I mean, you can make 5 cups in this little teeny thing. I'm just surprised. But yep. And I have to say, so far, the Palo Alto is doing really well. I like the taste, but I want to go ahead and buy the Durant to go to the machine, because before I used to only use the instant. So, well, you know what? Gotta put some little carnation with evaporated milk. This is the Caribbean showing up. I can't have black coffee. I can't. When I say black, I have to put a little sugar in it. I told you. But I can have it. I don't like to put milk in my coffee. And I've graduated. I don't want that coffee made. I don't know what that thing is. When I look at the ingredient and I think about all the time I was eating those coffee creamers, and I'm like, what is that? What is it? This is what I mean about prepackaged food. All right, coffee creamer. Does it have milk in it? I don't know. Oh, so pretty. Yep, that was my breakfast. Well, it's probably about 1:30 to 2 o'clock, and I'm good. I'm gonna try to not eat for the rest of the day because I look at my tummy yesterday. It's like, no, Maggie, you need to pull back. And that's what you do. You don't let yourself go all the way. You're always checking. Here it is. Beautiful. Have a lovely day. Enjoy. Bye-bye.